Hey girls and boys, it is Mr. McAndrew, the math coach. Very, very excited, even more excited than usual, if you can believe it, because we are getting into multi-digit multiplication. What does that mean? Well, up until now, you've probably been focusing on things like 5 times 3, or 6 times 7, or 8 times 8. Those are all single digits, right? 8 and 8 are just one digits, right? 8 has one digit. We're going to get all the way up to this year into like 4 digits times one digit. So like 8,627 times 5. Or we're even going to get into like 2 digits times 2 digits, like 83 times 26. Okay, but take a deep breath. We're going to take it slow. Okay, and this week, we're only going to go up to like 2 times one digit numbers, like say 5 times 26, something like that. Okay, we're going to take it very slow. We're going to break it down. So, are you ready? All right, click your seatbelt on and let's get this party started. So, what I want you to show you is this. So I have some square inch tiles, okay, and they are in an array, right? Looks like the area model. What I want you to understand to start off, boys and girls, is there is something that we use to multiply, and it is called the distributive property. You probably heard of this last year or maybe even this year. Very, very important. Now, it's kind of like a funny word. Like, what does that mean, Mr. McAndrew? Well, let's take a look at what the distributive property means, okay? Because it's very, very helpful, and I'll explain to you soon why that is. The distributive property basically says, if you want, you can break up a multiplication problem into as many parts as you want. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So, for example, here we have, let me move this over. We have an array. It's got 1, 2, 3 rows. So I'm going to put a 3 here. Okay, so that shows the 3 rows that we have here. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 tiles in each row. So I'm going to put 8 here. Okay, the 8 shows the 8 tiles going this way. Okay, so 3 and 8. Now, what if I don't know what 3 times 8 is? Well, the distributive property says, okay, and this is very, very important, so pay attention, okay? The distributive property says we can split up that problem however we want. So, not however we want, but in a way that works. So let me give you an example. I can break up this 8 into, let's say, 5 and 3. Okay, so I know that 5 plus 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then there's 3 over here. Okay, so watch, I'm going to actually break it up. Okay, so actually, yeah, let me do this. So now we have, I broke up the 8 into 5 and 3. You with me? Okay, so now over here I have 3 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? I have 3 rows of 5 right here. And over here I have 3 rows of 3. Okay? So I may not know what 3 times 8 is, but I might know what 3 times 5 is, which is 15. And I might know what 3 times 3 is, which is 9. And if I add 15 plus 9, I get 24. It's kind of bright right there, isn't it? I get 24. So now I know that 3 rows of 8 is the same as 24. All right, that's kind of crazy, right? Let's take another look. What if I broke it up in a different way? What if I didn't know what 3 times 5 was? I can break it up however I want. I could also break it up like, I could break it in half like this. Okay, so now I broke, oh, I think I'm going to sneeze. Hold on a second. Whew. All right, I sneezed. I'm good, ready to go. Okay, so I took these 8, right? Like, let's pretend that it's, they're like, let's pretend they're chairs. And you have, let's put them back together again. You have 3 rows of 8 chairs. It's like a classroom, right? Or like a little stadium. Okay, but let's say that there's a row here, or like an aisle to get, oh, like a movie theater, right? And you have to get down the row to be able to get to your seat, okay? So you can break it up just like that. So now instead of having 8 across, I broke it up into 4 over here and 4 over here. So now I could do, what's 3 rows of 4? How many seats is that? Okay. I put the parentheses just to show it refers to this rectangle. And what if over here I also have 3 rows of 4? So over here I have 12 seats to sit in, right? Because I have 4, 8, 12. 3 times 4 is 12. And I have 12 over here as well. Well, look at this, boys and girls. 12 and 12 makes 24. I still have 24, right? I didn't get rid of any. It's still 24. So it doesn't matter how I break it up. I'm always going to get the same answer. Okay, so this is the distributive property. I know you've looked at it before. It's a little review of it because we're going to use it this week and the next few weeks to help us solve really big problems. Because, sorry about that, boys and girls, if you have a really big problem, it's hard to do it all at once. But if you break it into smaller, like rectangles, okay, then you can figure it out. And that's exactly how your parents learned it. They didn't probably know they learned it that way, but that's how they learned it. They use the distributive property. We all use it. So let's get to it. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say, for example, boys and girls, you have a problem like, let's say you have 5 times 240 43. Okay? Now, do I have enough square inch tiles to do this problem? No, I do not. I do not have 243 to go all the way across. But I can still use my distributive property. Okay, and by the way, boys and girls, you're not going to even be doing this week. I'm just showing you where we're headed. Okay, you'll be doing this in like a week or 2, but not this week. But what I can do is I know that 243, if I draw a rectangle, so this is, let's say this is 5. And we're going to pretend like from here all the way across is 243. Okay? So I don't know what 243 times 5 is. I can't just do that all in one big step, but we can break it down. So for example, I know that if I use, remember, think about place value. I could break up 243 by place value. So I could make this part 200. That would be the biggest part. From like here to here. Okay. And then I could put in, and then I could add 40. Like here to here. And then this could be 3. Because I know that 200 plus 40 plus 3 is 243. Right? So I can use my distributive property, just like I did with the square inch tiles, to do it step by step. Now I happen to know that 200 times 5 is 1,000. And that 40 times 5 is 200. And that 3 times 5 is 15. So if I add those up, I get 1,000 plus 200, plus 15 equals 1,215. So I didn't do it in one big step, right? But using the distributive property, I was able to break it out. Now, why did I do it like this? Let me show you, boys and girls. It also turns out that there's a lot of ways I could have broken up 243. Okay, so let me draw my rectangle again. So we're going to say this is 5, and this is 243. I could have also broken it up into, let's say, 150 plus, let's say, 80 plus 13. Something like that. I think that equals 243. I hope so. Now, but why? But okay, so why wouldn't I do it this way? I wouldn't do it this way because why? What do you think? This is not a good way to do it. 150 plus 80 plus 13. It does equal 243. Okay, it does equal 243. But I wouldn't want to break it up this way because you know why? Because I don't know what 5 times 150 is. I do know what 5 times 80 is, but I don't know what 5 times 13 is. So that's not a good way to break it up. It's better to break it up by place value, okay? Because that way I know how to multiply. Now you may be saying to me, Mr. McAndrew, good for you, but I don't know how to do that yet. Well, guess what? This week, that's what I'm going to teach you. Okay, I'm going to teach you. Okay, it's better to break it up by place value. So then I multiply 200 times 5. I'm going to multiply 40 times 5 and 3 times 5. I'm going to make sure you know how to do 200 times 5 and 40 times 5. I'm going to hope that you know how to do 3 times 5. You may still be learning them in terms of memorizing them, but I'm counting on you being able to do this. If not, I'm going to give you a multiplication chart to use. Okay, so that's a long introduction to what we're doing this week. There is one more video where I want you to look, and it's going to be you're going to get a lot of practice on working on multiplying times 10, 100, and 1,000 to start off. Okay, and then we're going to move into multiplying numbers like this week. All right, I hope you paid attention. If not, rewind, watch it again. And I will see you soon, okay? Watch the next video and get out your math packet. Bye-bye.